Hi, my name is Shola John, and this is Man Making a Difference Every Day. I want to talk about men. I want to talk about what men go through. I want to talk about men and our challenges. I want to talk about things people complain that we don't talk about. And you may want to ask why. Why podcast about men? Well, from my own personal experience, growing up, I never wanted to grow up. And that sounds funny, but there are times I wish, oh yeah, I want to be a man, I want to grow, I want to be like my father. And that is especially when we are eating and I can see that he has some couple of meats in his food. And I'm like, oh great, I want to be a man, I want to be a father, and I want to be eating meat like this man. Aside from that, when it comes to responsibilities, I think I had that fear growing up. Then I lived with some of my brothers. I lived with them. I saw what it meant or what it means to be a man. And then the fear of wanting to grow up just somehow just gripped me. But then I had to grow up. It's the only choice we have if we are going to ever succeed and we're going to become something in life. But beyond that, I have to now learn to take responsibility. It was at the point of learning to take responsibility. I think it is important that we talk about some of these issues. And this is not about competing with women and trying to prove that men are better. I don't believe in that. I believe we are complementary, male and female. Okay? God made both so that we can complement each other, not to compete with each other. Secondly, I was making some videos for my YouTube many years ago, and one of my mentors from Brazil, he just reached out to me and he said, on that particular episode, we had talked about issues relating to men. I was interviewing my friend and brother, Dr. Oladimiji Joseph, and then he reached out to me and he said, how about talking about positive masculinity? I never thought about it, but I said, okay, I was going to give it some thought. And then this is about 5 years down the line, and I'm thinking that it's the right time that I begin to share some of these things that I maybe personally have been through or have read or have seen others go through. Thirdly, I belong to two groups that are male support groups that have helped me tremendously over the past few years. And I think that some of the things we learn there I could also share with others. And that's the reason why I just decided to put this podcast together. Now, there's a disclaimer here. My disclaimer is that I am not proven to know everything about men, and anybody who will bring on this podcast also is not a proof that they have attained. No, it's just to help us to be vulnerable. It's to help us to be able to share. It's to help us to be able to bear our mind and sometimes share our struggles. And if we do that, then possibly we might be able to help one or two persons out there. And so at every point, you are welcome to send me a DM to try to chat me up if the opportunity is there and I have the time. I'm conscious of the fact that we may be in different parts of the world and then different time zones. But then if there are issues also that you think we can help with, please feel free to send in your questions and then your opinions, and then as many as we can incorporate, we take it along just to ensure that we help ourselves and then help our children, are younger people who are, sometimes struggling with accepting the fact that the challenges are real, the realities of lives are there. And sometimes some are driven to a point where they begin to deny themselves, they begin to fall into depression, and then some are driven to a point where they want to do things that are not right. But we are also conscious of the fact that the little knowledge we have, if we share with others, it might be able to help them also to brace up and be a man, because you are created as one and then you are expected to act as one. And lastly, I believe strongly that speaking up is one of the things we need to do as men. And sometimes it's not necessarily speaking up about what we don't like, even the things we like and the things we struggle with. And then wherever we can find help, we do so. And so on this journey, I'm inviting you. I'm going to be dropping videos on various issues that affects men, those we talk about and those we don't talk about, those we think about and those we wish we have the courage to address, in such a way that it helps us, it helps the public, and for our female folks who probably may be watching this and you are asking certain questions about men, please feel free to send in your question. I'll try as much as possible to answer. If I can't answer, I get an expert to look into it. And in the course of the next few weeks, a lot of videos will be coming out from me, and it's man-made, man making a difference every day. Thank you, and see you. Bye.